You want to be a community market leader? You want to dominate your area? You need to start getting people to know you, to like you, and trust you. You break down barriers. You establish yourself as the authority figure. You start to dominate. Now, you can do this even if you're brand new. Now, if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, no way, let me tell you, I can guarantee that I can go into any city, and within 1 year, I'll be one of the top 3 agents from this strategy. But what do you need to do, Trevor? You've got to do it consistently. Right?
100%.
You got to get out of your head. And people have the hardest time with video because they're so afraid of what people are going to think or how they're going to look or whatever it might be. But here's the deal. That's how you look, right? You look that way. So if you don't like how you look on video, then you just don't like how you look, because that's how you look to other people. There's nothing different.
Hey friends, what's up? This is Brady, producer for the Caret Cast, and I wanted to let you know we got one quick announcement before we roll this episode. And we are opening up applications for Caret Camp Fall this year. So mark your calendar, September 9th and 10th, the most intensive exclusive mastermind for real estate investors and agents. We're opening it up right now, and a handful of the tickets are already taken by returning Caret campers. And so that's pretty exciting. We got some awesome people coming back this year. It's going to be a great event. If you want to know more about Caret Camp, head to caretcamp.com. Get your tickets while they're still available. Can't wait to see you. Enjoy the rest of this episode.
Hey guys and gals, coming at you with another episode of the Caret Cast. I've got a returning guest on here for the second time on. And there's not a lot of returning guests in the Caret Cast. I think there's probably 3 or 4 ever, and we're almost 200 episodes in. But I'm really excited to bring my friend, amazing real estate agent, amazing coach, amazing entrepreneur, so much energy, Krista Mashore, back on the Caret Cast. Welcome back, Krista.
Thanks, Trevor. Super excited to be here. I appreciate it.
For sure. So I've been following you on Instagram, on Facebook, and you have been all over the place lately. You've been traveling everywhere. You've been, you just had your event for your students. Was it last week or 2?
Yeah, so I was in Boise for our inner circle with Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels. And then I came back and I had my 2-day live event with my elite and mastery students. So it was crazy, but it was awesome. It was probably the best event we've had so far. I
love it. I love it. So, here's the thing. So everyone who's listening to the Caret Cast, you guys know that I don't bring people on to pitch stuff, but I bring people on who are doing amazing things. And if their service can really help you in a massive way and it helps you execute Caret better, we're always going to tell you about it. And on the real estate agent side of things, since it is the newer part of our business, versus the investor side, one of the things that we have found, of course, is the real estate agents who really latch onto and really dive deep on doing video, who already know that video is the way that they need to, that they're going to be standing out, who already know and have already bought into the fact that video helps you separate yourself and build trust, build credibility, get in front of people, cut through the clutter. Those people have a lot more success with Caret. So I thought, let's get Krista back because she's amazing with video. That's what she does in her own company to sell over 100 homes a year there in Brentwood. And we'll talk about that specifically. But then also, I don't know how many of our clients came from you. A lot. I mean, a lot of Agent Caret clients came from you. And when we look at the cohorts, we look at the ones that came through your program, the ones who didn't. The ones who did have a lot more success with us because we really do focus in on video. Someone who comes in and uses Agent Caret and isn't bought in video yet, they're probably going to be struggling a little bit. So we're going to be talking about that quite a bit too. For sure. So why don't you give some people, if they didn't listen to the first episode of the Caret Cast with you, we'll do kind of the brief version of it here. Your whole story, your backstory, how you got into where you are today, just the triumphs that you've had over the years. We talked about that in the first episode. So everyone go back to that episode of the Caret Cast, listen to that one with Krista. We're not going to redo that part of it. We're going to give you more tactical and strategic stuff, but the basic high level, where are you? Where do you live? How long have you been in real estate? And kind of what's your real estate agent business look like right now?
So I'm currently in the top 1% of real estate agents across the nation. I have been for 17 years. I've sold over 2,000 homes in my career personally. That's not a huge team. It's me with an assistant and a marketer, like transaction coordinator. And just recently, over the past year, I've brought on help because now my primary focus is coaching. I still am completely active in the real estate side of it, but more so as overseeing everyone, making sure they're implementing my processes and my procedures. And then my team just takes over. So Last year we sold 104, it was either 104 or 101 homes. And I did that over the past 12 months by, only working about 5% in my actual real estate business, because 95% is focused on coaching. But with the proper systems and all that great stuff, you can absolutely do it. And my team is still crushing it. I think this month we're doing closing 13 houses this month.
I love it. And I'm writing some notes here because there's some things I want to dig into. One of the things I do want to touch on actually here in a little bit, we'll circle back on it, is building that team, because that's something that I'm in the middle of. We have 24 or so people, and it's not easy to do, right? Like, it's not easy to build a team.
I mean, it's hard. It's definitely affected my numbers this year, because, when you step out of your business, so it's one thing to build a team and still be really heavily involved.
Yep.
But to build the team and to not be as heavily involved because your focus is on something else, we've had a ton of trial and error. I mean, I've had to change employees and hire and fire, and we finally have got it. Like, we've hired two new, an amazing marketer to help us. And then we are just thrilled with, he understands our philosophies, and he loves Facebook and all that great stuff, and loves video and understands the importance of it. But it's been a rough 8 months, I tell you. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. We went from, the year before last, I sold 151 homes. And then all of a sudden I started to kind of see my business tank a little bit because I wasn't quite as involved, and other agents were using my coaching kind of against me. But we have finally, over the past 90 days, we're back, in full force.
So Krista, actually, let's focus on that a little bit right now before we dive into the video stuff and the marketing stuff. So before you really started focusing a significant amount of time helping other agents do what you do on the coaching side of things, what did your team look like? You mentioned it was just you and an assistant, or was there someone else on the team?
So yeah, originally it was myself and a full-time marketer, and then a full-time transaction coordinator. So there's three of us. No one was licensed except for myself. And then I also had a full-time videographer and photographer because, I was closing anywhere from 12 to 22 homes a month. So it made sense for me to have a full-time videographer, photographer, just for the sake of things, right? You do $600-800 a video and pics. It didn't make sense for me to pay that each time. Yep. And so when it was just us, we just hammered it home. We were highly focused on creating videos and running ads behind them, and, utilizing Caret and putting creating our landing pages through Caret, and really, really heavy content driven. And just the idea was to become and to be the community market leader, meaning anything community or real estate related, you have your pulse on. And anytime someone thinks about community or real estate, your name can't help but to come up or to be thought about, because you are just seen everywhere.
I love it. So that's definitely a topic we're going to dive into, is how you become that. But now, so let's look at the current team now. So you've been through some growing pains, like all of us are. When it's like after you get past that 5, 6, 7 people on your team, then it goes into the realm where you can't have 12 people directly reporting to you and you still being able to do your work, right? It's really hard. Or especially if you're stepping out of it, how do you then fill that void with processes, with systems, communication cadence? So what does your real estate team look like right now? And how much
now that
hours a week are you putting in versus before on the real estate side?
Oh, I'm putting in about 2 hours a week in the real estate side, and that's just talking to my team, having meetings, seeing how they're doing. I brought in my brother and one of my best friends. Now they are basically acting as me. So now they're Krista, and they basically go to the listing appointments and are meeting with clients, and they're selling our system. That you're actually hiring Homes by Krista's processes and systems when you hire Homes by Krista. We really are trying to take the focus off of me and more on the system. So I've been bringing them in the marketing, bringing them in the videos, bringing them on, all that good stuff. So there's the two of them. Then we have a full-time buyer's agent, which is Kathy. So she's our full-time buyer's agent. She works primarily with buyers. Josh and Tanya do not touch the buyers. And then I have a full-time transaction coordinator, and then a full-time marketer. And then the full-time videographer. So basically it's the same team as I had before. I just brought in Josh and Kathy to be me, right? And then we brought in a full-time buyer's agent. But with that being said, I did have a buyer's agents before as well. So over the past 3 or 4 years, I've been giving all my buyer's leads to buyer's agents.
Gotcha.
Which basically, I forgot to mention that. I don't work with buyers.
Yep. No, I love it. So you basically went from about a team of 3 and probably 40 plus hours a week, your own time working in it. Now you're about 2 hours a week.
60 hours, 60 to 70 hours a week.
There we go. 60 to 70 hours, 3-person team. Now you're a 5 or 6-person team. You had what were some of the pain points you had there? Did you have to pull back? And I guess with you said you're selling a system now. So did you have to pull back and create a bunch of processes? How did you do that?
No, we already had the system down. I mean, it was just making sure that my team did what I'm supposed to, right? When the cat's away, the mice will play kind of a thing. And, I'm really heavily into doing things that other agents won't do. And all the little things matter. For example, doing things like after you meet a client, sending a bomb or a video text message, right? And one great tip, if you just want to do one thing that's super simple that anyone can do without it, 15 minutes a day, that is create 10 video text messages every single day to your past clients, sphere of influence, people you meet at the grocery store or at your kids, open house at your school activity or whatever it might be. Introducing yourself and just saying hi, or going onto Facebook and looking at what's happened in someone's life. Maybe it's a celebration, a birthday, an anniversary, an accomplishment, something that has happened to them, and just saying, hey, it's Krista, Trevor, I noticed that you just went to Idaho and you went to this awesome looking event. Just wanted to let you know, looked amazing, really happy for you. Just wanted to say hi, I was thinking about you, and have a great day. Not asking for business, not asking for a referral. If you're marketing properly and you're exposing yourself the way that you should, everyone should know that you're in real estate. By calling people and asking for referrals, it gets kind of annoying and people don't like to answer your phone call. So when you just send them a quick video message saying, hey, just thinking about you, saw this cool thing you did, and they're like, oh my God, you thought about me. If you do that every single day, 10 of those a day for 30 days, right? Take the weekends off. I guarantee you're going to pick up at least 2 to 3 new sellers or buyers. I mean, we are seeing our students and people that are taking our challenge do it all the time, but it's about doing it consistently.
And the cool thing too, Krista, is you're adding humanity to your business, which is part of our mission here at Caret. And I talk to so many investors and agents who kind of get lost in the details of, I've got to do this big fancy campaign, or I've got to do this big fancy thing that's going to be expensive. And you just boiled it down. You went, you know what? Just connect with people. And it's fun to do that too. There's no pressure. Just like have fun and love on them. There's no you're not having an ask. You're just giving them value and saying, I'm thinking of you.
And when you do that, like, people remember that you're in a real estate. And that's the thing. We all think that our clients are going to remember us, right? And the idea is to make sure that they never do. But everyone thinks that our clients are going to remember us. This way, you're not letting them forget about you. And then hopefully they're seeing your videos on Facebook. They're seeing the ads that you're running. And you combine that along with just such a simple activity like sending them a video text message saying hello. They're like, oh my gosh, I know this. My mom wants to sell her. My friend Alicia just said she was going to sell her house. You should call her. I guarantee you, they are not remembering you, or they would have already told her that had they remembered you in the first place, right? So this is just giving them something easy to do that will help.
So I was watching a Facebook thread this a few weeks ago. It wasn't in your coaching group. I think it was in the Real Closers thread. And there was a guy that popped a note in there, and he said something to the effect of, what do you do when your friends work with another real estate agent? Like you find out later that they ended up working with a different real estate agent, and they're like, you're really, really good friends. And there were a bunch of people that had all kinds of advice. And the reason I bring this up right now is because he was expecting the transaction just because they're friends, rather than doing what you're suggesting people do, and build value and stay connected with them and make it to where you're always in front of them, but in a good way. And you're not asking them for stuff.
Yeah. People are just tired of getting sold all the time. I've got a couple people that will call me for to buy their healthy food or whatever it might be. And every time I see their message, it's like, hey, will you have this party for me or do this? And I don't even want to answer their phone anymore. It's to the point where I'm just so annoyed by it. And you don't want to be that way, so that's just a simple tip that I would tell you to do. And always come from a place of service. Like we teach serve, don't sell, right? You want to serve people. The more that you come from a serving mindset, helping. And that's the whole idea of becoming a community market leader. You're constantly adding value, giving information, giving tips, telling people about what's new in town, what they should do, what's fun and exciting, cool hacks that you've learned about. And they don't even have to be real estate related. In fact, what I tell my students is this, Trevor, because there's so much in my program, right? They can get overwhelmed. Yep. I say, if you just do these really simple 5 things, and 3 of them are creating 3 videos a week, right? A community related video or a helpful tip type video, not having anything to do with real estate. a real estate related video, and then a niche video. Your niche video, real estate related video, like a market update, and then just a, hey, you know, I made this cool recipe, you got to check it out, or go and interview a local restaurant, go and talk about something that's coming up. If you just do those 3 things and run an ad behind them, you will see massive, massive results in your business. If you accompany that from tracking your numbers, we call it a weekly track sheet, like tracking your numbers, like what you're doing, okay? And then doing your 10 video text messages, your business will explode. Now there's one more part of that, and it's kind of like we just teach them how to visualize their day, show gratitude, you know, write out 6 things that they're doing, you know, they're going to get done each day. This is recorded, but here's like a good example, okay?
Yep.
So I don't know if you can see this, but this is what we have them fill out. And if you can see right here, it says, Trevor, 2 o'clock, right? You're on there. And I can't wait to cross you out, right?
That's right.
When you write things down, and, you know, today I was like, I've got to get these videos done. So I got done 4 video trainings. I did a Facebook Live. I did a coaching call with my team. I had an hour-and-a-half long meeting. Now we're on this. It's only 2 o'clock and we've already accomplished all this. And it's because I wrote it down and I time blocked it out, right? Yep. And I said, I'm doing this today. Like, no matter what, I'm getting this done. And, you know, you thought I forgot about your call because I was 5 minutes late, and you're like, you want to reschedule? I'm like, heck no, man, you're on my sheet. Like, I didn't want to do this call. I'm not putting it for later, you know?
Yep, perfect.
If you just do that, you know, do your videos, run ads behind them, you know, visualize your day and map it out, track your numbers, and do 10 video text messages, your business will explode because you're creating habits for yourself.
So I want everyone to reverse that last 15 seconds, maybe in the last 10 minutes, but for sure the last 15 seconds, because she gave you that really specific checklist, that punch list for the week. Okay. And that's something I believe in a big way too, is when you go into the week, make sure that you're clear what you need to accomplish that week. So it feeds into your monthly objectives, and those monthly objectives feed into your quarterly. And then those weekly feed into the day, just like Krista has there on her daily sheet. I've got my version of a daily sheet here. You did a way better job than I did today, Krista. I pulled mine out, but I only put a couple things in there. It was really, really bad. I'm sad.
Well, look, if you look at this, so here, see, it says like, I visualized my day, read my manifesto, I showed gratitude, and I wrote out my 6 things, right? So here's me showing gratitude, okay? Here's me writing out my 6 things and time blocking them. And here's me throughout the day, like celebrating my wins, you know? And just these strategies alone, I mean, and I know, and people will think like, oh, get to the good stuff. I want to hear the tactics. I'll tell you what, showing gratitude, visualizing your day, and is like half of the battle of you being successful, right? Accompany that by writing out what you want to do. And obviously, you know, we're in the same, we all know about how important goal planning is, and planning out your year, breaking it down into your quarter, your month, or your week, and then your day. We teach that, we do that. And it really, really works. But, you know, so we've done that, but let's get back to the video. So you want to be a community market leader? You want to dominate your area? You need to start getting people to know you, to like you, and trust you. You break down barriers. You establish yourself as the authority figure. You start to dominate. Now you can do this even if you're brand new. So imagine this. Imagine an agent who's just thinks they're just doing so well, right? And they dominate the area, but they're using old school tactics. They're still just doing the same old stuff that's been taught for years and years. And then you've got a brand new agent. And let me tell you, I've seen this happen over and over in the past 18 months in my coaching program. You have a brand new agent. They've never sold a house before, but all of a sudden they start being seen on their news, on the community's news feed, talking about real estate tips, market trends, what's happening in the community, why you need to make sure that you get a deposit, what contingencies are, talking about the absorption rate, doing a market update, talking about, this weekend, they've got the farmer's market, make sure you're there. And they start seeing you 3 times a week, 4 times a week. All of a sudden, you are the person that's top of mind awareness. And then you accompany that with strong marketing tactics and strategies where you position yourself as the expert. So everything that you produce is, what I tell everyone is you're always on a job interview, right? Anytime you produce any kind of content, whether it's a business card, a flyer, your brochures, the way your sign looks, right? Any ads that you're running, you're on a job interview. So you accompany doing these real estate videos, and then what we do, which is video repurposing, which you of course know what that is, Trevor, and taking those videos and get them out there on multiple platforms, which I love Caret, because Caret is so content driven. And what this whole this whole technique and strategy I'm talking about right now is content driven. So when you utilize Caret and you utilize these strategies and you take your video and you get it transcribed through your training, through your software, or you just do it through Rev, whatever.
Yep.
And then you're having the video and the transcription. Then all of a sudden you're being seen on Google. Now people are seeing you on Facebook. They're seeing you on Google. They're seeing your videos. It's like you all of a sudden now, as a new agent, can very quickly start to become on the same playing level as somebody who's dominated the industry. Now, if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, no way, let me tell you, I can guarantee that I can go into any city, and within 1 year, I'll be one of the top 3 agents from this strategy.
Yep.
But what does it need? What do you need to do, Trevor? You've got to do it consistently.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
You got to get out of your head. And people have the hardest time with video because they're so afraid of what people are going to think or how they're going to look or whatever it might be. But here's the deal. That's how you look, right? You look that way. So if you don't like how you look on video, then you just don't like how you look, because that's how you look to other people. There's nothing different.
Chris, it's so funny. As you're saying this stuff, I'm going, no wonder we're working together a lot, because the way you and I think is so alike. And I love it, guys. I've been saying that thing you just said there for years. And I was one of those guys. Like, I was one of those people who I didn't want to get in video. I didn't like the way my voice sounded. And like you said, if you're wanting to make an impact, if you're wanting to really grow a real business, if you're wanting to step out of that comfort zone and do something special, you have to, in this case, you have to get out of that comfort zone and do video. And that's the way we grew Caret, was the same way. I mean, we do, today I'm recording a podcast right now. I recorded a Facebook Live right before this. I recorded 2 videos. So my Thursday was kind of similar. Had a couple meetings, and a lot of that was content. And guys and gals, like Krista said, it's you getting out there in front of people, building trust, building credibility, being in front of people all the time. So when they need that solution, you're there. They feel like they know you already. One thing that you had mentioned a little bit ago, you talk about being a community market leader. And whenever I talk with real estate agents, that their biggest block around content tends to be, well, what do I do content on? Right? They go, well, you can only do so much content on like how to buy a house and first-time homebuyer programs and stuff. And possibly, I mean, I could probably do 40 videos in first-time homebuyer programs if you just niched them down.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's so funny. I mean, every single month, like, we create anywhere from 5 to 15 videos for our students. And I just literally sit down. I just get boom. For me, it's easy. But here's what you do. You teach it. I teach it. Go to Google and you start typing in something, buying homes blank, and whatever gets autofilled is what most people are searching. Look at that, create a video around that. Make sure you mentioned your city and state that you're in. Go down to the bottom of the page of Google, look at the recent searches. That means relevant searches. That's what else people are Googling, and then do content on that, right? You know so much more than you know. You could go over the real estate contract. And so, like, let me give you an example. Right now we're creating, a virtual seller seminar. Okay. So basically, today when I was doing the videos, I was talking to you about the virtual seller seminar, right? And it's basically just talking about marketing, why marketing is important, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, why you need to have professional videography, why digital marketing is important, how do you properly utilize Facebook, right? There's a difference between just posting on your business page and your personal page and actually running ads behind it. Okay. Why you've had other things happen in the past, right? You can do a video on, hey, make sure you don't do this. Okay. Today I just had this experience where blah, 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 right? I mean, every single day when you're going through life and something great happens to you or something bad happens to you, or you have that a-hole agent on the other line that does, X, Y, and Z, talk about it. Hey, this just happened and I don't want it to happen to anyone else. So make sure in the future that when you're writing looking at a request for repairs, that you check the right box, because if you check the wrong box, that means, there's so many things that you could do. You just got to get it out of your head. And I know that for Caret and for Google, you want longer content. And I'll say that your stuff, right? If you go to a party and somebody asks you, hey, Krista, how's the market doing? That's what they all ask you. You can't just go, well, hold on, wait a second. Let me think about it. No, you're just like, oh, the market's great right now. Oh my goodness, we are getting multiple offers on every single house. And what we're finding is that, the lower price houses are selling faster and blah, 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 right? Like, it. So just start practicing and doing it and getting it out of your head. Start small and you keep adding to it, right? Another thing that you can do is you can just create smaller videos and then piece them all together, to have higher content. So if you're not comfortable doing this whole huge long one, do smaller ones, piece them together, which creates longer content. So you have higher search engine optimization on Google.
I love it, Krista. So on the Facebook side of things, I know recently Facebook started making strong suggestions that you upload longer videos, right? It was showing, hey, your video is less than 3 minutes. You should make it longer. Have you been adjusting any of your guys' processes on your end to add longer videos to Facebook? Because I know before they were pretty short ones.
Yeah, we still do both. I mean, like, for example, we try to do a kind of like the strategy is do a quick one first to get somebody's attention, making sure that they're interested, and then bring them down the funnel, right? Okay. Like, hey, 3 tips when selling. If they like 3 tips when selling, then you can continue on. 7 essentials when selling. Costly mistakes, right? Now let's get you a market analysis. So it brings them down. So some of the videos are 1 minute, 3 minutes, longer. And the longer the video, at times, I love using a teleprompter. Like, I love sitting down, writing a script out, getting a teleprompter out. And at first, let me just warn you, you're going to suck. That's okay. It's going to take you 3 hours to do your first teleprompter video. But guess what? In 2 months, it's going to take you 10 minutes. So it's just like everything else in life. The first time you kissed, I bit the guy the first time. I sucked. It was a junior high. I don't bite anyone now, It's just practice. Practice makes perfect. So
I love it. Yeah. I love it. One thing that's been really cool, Krista, is when you and I first connected, probably a couple of years ago now, we've been talking a lot about what you guys specialize in, what we specialize in. You guys are amazing at video, amazing at being a community market leader, amazing at Facebook. Our skill set comes on, like you talked about, content, Google search, all that kind of stuff. And it's been so cool just seeing you guys embody the Google search part of it, because that wasn't a huge part of what you guys were doing before. You were already ranked really well in some things way before Caret ever came into the picture. But now I'm looking at it going, this is sweet, because she's adding that third leg to the marketing stool.
And I think it's essential right now. So here's what it's, so even we really teach Facebook, and we're now going into YouTube and more Google. And the reason being is because Facebook is declining a little bit, right? Everyone's using it. So it's getting harder to grab people's attention. We tell people your job is to get people to stop the scroll, right? You need to get them to stop the scroll, and it's getting harder and harder to do that. Yet advertising on Google is now more affordable than Facebook. And so it's kind of like taking a switch. And you got to think about one more thing too, is that when you're creating these videos that go on, they're going to go on your Caret site that will go on to Google. You also are going to be able to upload them to YouTube, right? You can take them from YouTube to that. And the reason why that's important is because people are going to YouTube to learn. They're specifically going there to find out how to do something. Like, they're comparing and contrasting, comparing selling on your own versus hiring Redfin, or comparing for sale by owner by hiring an agent, or they're there to search and they're there to look. So you want to make sure that you're showing up there as well. I think it's like real quickly go into this like video repurposing.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So think about this. People will say, I don't have time to do video. Well, how long does it take you to do an open house? You gotta prepare like the like properties around, right? You've got to show them, hey, if you don't like this house, you can look at these houses. So that takes you, 20 minutes. You've got to print them out. You got to copy them. You got to go buy the donuts. You got to buy the balloon for the sign. You got to hang the dang signs and put them all over the neighborhood, which I personally hate doing. You probably made some brownies or picked up some food, right, to go with you. You're sitting at the open house for 3 hours. Then you've got to go get the signs. You got to drive. That's a 5-hour day. Okay. 5-hour day. You might hope that maybe you might get, let's just say if you're really lucky, you get 10 people. Okay. Some of you might get 30 on a great day. Your average is probably 3 people. Out of the 3, they're all neighbors, and most likely, or they're a buyer who's not going to be ready for, for another 6 months. They're just starting the search and they're not pre-qualified, or if they are, they can't afford to buy that house anyways. That's typically how it goes. Now, if you create one video, then with that video, you can get that video transcribed through rev.com, or you can upload it onto Caret. Caret will transcribe it for you. Okay. Now you have a transcription. You can take that transcription. Now that transcription, right, is automatically going to be going to Google for search engine optimization. You can take that transcription. You can do a long form post on Facebook. So in words, you can take that video and you can put that video on Facebook and create an ad. You can take that video and upload it to YouTube. So YouTube has an ad, right? So now it's on your website, right? You've got the blog post, you've got the Facebook video, you've got the Facebook long form post, you've got the YouTube video. Then you can create a quote card from it. I mean, that's like 7 things right there from the use of creating one video. Yep. So to say you don't have time, I want you to realize that that's all you have. And 98% of buyers, 100% of buyers go online in their home search. They said it was, so 100% of buyers said that the online was useful, right? 93% of buyers, according to NAR, are going online in their home search, right? Yep. They usually go there 3 to 6 months prior to taking action, if not longer. So your goal is to want to show up for 3 to 6 months prior to them wanting to take action, so that when that 3 to 6 months comes, they've seen you in all these places and they're like, that's the person I'm going to call because I've been seeing them everywhere.
Yep. I love it. And kind of so right before this, we did a Facebook Live on the local pages, the community pages here at Caret. And one of the ways you can get in front of people 3 to 6 months in advance is you peg, there's locations and there's niche locations, right? Locations for us would be like a city. A niche location, we'll do Roseburg here. Roseburg would be a location. A niche would be a neighborhood in Roseburg, Melrose or Hillcrest or North Umpqua River Homes or whatever it is. And what we suggest you guys do to get in front of those people 3 to 6 months ahead is the way that a buyer is working, or a seller too, is the buyer is going online and they're going, well, I think these 3 neighborhoods are cool. I'm going to go search like Melrose, Roseburg, Oregon Homes for Sale, and this one and this one. And if you use our location page tool and follow our training, and you just build more relevant, robust content on that than Zillow, we're finding, if you follow our instructions, because of our platform and the way it's built, it's outranking Zillow in many cases.
That's insane.
It's cool. Like if you were to Google North Umpqua River Homes for Sale right now, you're seeing a #1 ranking there for one of our clients, G Team. And then they recently launched a location page, and it's not even fully optimized yet. It's like halfway done, and it's on the middle of page 1 right now. And it'll probably be #1, 2 the next 3 months after they get that adjusted. And that's the thing, is like you're now getting in front of those people many months ahead while they're still doing the research. And then you get them over to Facebook by retargeting them, which is what all things Facebook Chris is amazing at. And then they're just in your ecosystem. Now Chris is hitting you with content, community market leader stuff, building value. And if one of your niches is river home stuff, once again, just using that example, and you know that they landed on that page, you should probably be retargeting them the cool event that's happening out there by the North Umpqua River in June, or whatever it is, just talking about the events that your niches are interested in.
So many people too are afraid to niche, right? Like they're afraid of it. They think, oh my God, if I niche, I'm going to lose out. That's so not the case, right? People are going to still see you and they're going to call you for other reasons. But here's why niching is so important, is because when people do a search for, Shadow Lake, homes in Shadow Lakes, homes in Deer Ridge, homes on waterfront, homes on, I live in Discovery Bay on deep water, homes on deep water, right? Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that you show up, and you will if you start producing content and doing videos on that, because everyone else is doing more broad, buying in Brentwood, selling in Brentwood. But if you're specifically looking for a certain neighborhood, rural homes, a certain high-rise condo complex, whatever it might be, the more specific you can be in that city, in that location, you're going to start showing up and you're going to start clicking. I just recently, this is funny, Trevor, you'll like this. So to prove this to my students that it works, right? There's a city called Discovery Bay. It's actually where I live, but I don't do any business here. In fact, last year I sold a couple houses, not many. So within the past 30 days, I've said, listen, I'm going to start working in Discovery Bay, right? We have 2 listings in the past 30 days. We did about 27 CMAs last week alone for Discovery Bay, all from this exact content. We created a niche, a whole niche like landing page for Discovery Bay, homes on deep water, things to consider, buying houses, all this kind of stuff. So we're now focusing on Discovery Bay properties, and it's been not even 30 days, right? And all based upon niching.
So with that, let's kind of dig into that a little bit. What did you start to do? You created some landing pages that sounded like, were you running any Facebook ads to get that momentum?
Yes, we have Facebook ads runs. Like one of them that's working really well now is, my gosh, my team was ready to kill me because we had so many market analysis requests, but we did specific to Discovery Bay. We did want to sell your home for the perfect price, let us know, see if we can do it, kind of an ad. Mm-hmm. And we don't work in this area, and we delivered over 27. I think Tanya had like 18 one day, 17 the next, so whatever that is. She was just telling me yesterday in just two days time, right? Of current market analysis requests from running an ad. But on top of that, we did videos on, hey, buying a home on deep water, things to consider. We did like a Discovery Bay, live where you play, kind of like a video that we did. Mm-hmm. And again, it's all really new, but people are seeing us and we're being, we're being recognized in Discovery Bay when we're brand new here.
I love it. So the next thing here is you're running some ads. You can penetrate that market really well. You've got some content going. You've got the Google side of it going, the Facebook side of it going. If someone was given, let's say, 60 days to go into a market, just like you're doing there, what are the steps that you would have them take? You already laid out some steps earlier of do these 3 things each week. Do a video on this and a video on this and a video on this, make these phone calls. But what happens during that first month and what happens during the second month that you would suggest people to do?
So number 1, send 10 video text messages a day, just like I said, right? To anyone and everyone, not asking for anything, just giving value and saying hi. Number 2, run your videos. Start running community specific related videos, market updates, what's happening in real estate. I mean, do it all the time. Okay. A minimum of 3 per week. I would say if you can do it every single day, kind of like showing the life of a realtor, what you're doing, what's going on, and then running ads behind that, taking those videos, making sure you upload them onto your Caret site. So then you'll continue to get search engine optimization, and then running ads behind those videos as well. Like, honestly, that alone, your phone is going to start ringing, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it will. And that's the hardest thing for people to do, though, is to be consistent with running the videos and creating the ads, because they get too busy. Yeah. And they're paralyzed by doing the videos because they're afraid of what they're going to look like and all that good stuff. And what I tell everyone is, who cares? Just be perfectly imperfect. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have this high production. Everyone has a phone with a video camera on it. Take your video out from your phone and just get to it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you've got to get yourself out in the community, because what happens is that you can't hide behind your screen, and you can't just let automation take over. Like, we love automation. We've got plenty of automation in our business, but we definitely put the person back into it. Yep. You've got to put the person back into it. Just doing that, Trevor, though, you'll get business. You absolutely will. Now, when the momentum starts to happen and you really start to notice, like, oh my gosh, this is working, is around month 4 and 5. By month 4 and 5, I mean, if you've done this consistently, you will transform your business. I mean, we have seen it happen in every single market, whether it's a small town of, oh my gosh, it's so small, or whether it's a big town, big city, right? From New York to, Alaska. I mean, really, the strategy works. So people will say, oh, my town's too big. Oh, my town's too small. Oh, there's already a top producer. None of it matters. That's your own head. If you utilize this strategy and you do it consistently, consistency is the key, and you keep your mind in check, right? Like, you keep your mind, your positive focus, you're always thinking about, your thinking should always be solution-based thinking and not focusing on the negative. If you do that, you'll crush it. You'll crush it. I mean, it's exactly how I've been able to stay in the top 1%, even when I'm now working on coaching. It's exactly how I've, just landed my coaching business in the past 18 months, and we have over 500 clients that have gone through our program in 18 months. This is the exact strategy that we did it with. The same thing I'm telling you about right now.
And the cool thing is, so I talk about momentum a lot, and you talk about that 4 or 5 month period, and there's a few things that happen. I want to break it down here for people. The first thing is the content that you're doing, especially the Google stuff, but the Facebook stuff too. Now your audiences are building up on Facebook. People are starting to see your things multiple times. They're building that relationship with you. Now they're starting to possibly get from thinking about buying or selling to now buying or selling. Also the Google stuff, if you're going after some of those more niche phrases, you're likely starting to see some of those start to pop up and rank. So you're starting to see some traffic come in. Next is those people that saw you in the first week, third week, fourth week. Once again, they're closer to the buy decision now, and they're starting to actually take action on those things, the buy or the sell decision. And so all of these forces start to combine in that month 4 to month 8 period, especially as you get closer to the month 8 period, because then all of those leads are coming in. Now they're getting ready to buy or sell. Your content's paying off. Your audiences are building on Facebook. Your rankings are starting to pop up on Google, all that stuff. So I've seen people, and you see it probably all the time too, where people get discouraged 2 months in because they see someone else who got a listing the first week and they haven't got one 2 months in, and they're going, well, what's going on? But they haven't even hit the point of momentum yet.
That's exactly true. And as long as you don't stop and you don't give up, you won't fail. The only way that you can fail is if you stop and you give up. So many people stop, just like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, right? They stop 3 feet from gold.
Yep.
And that's why, 3% of the agents do 97% of the business, because they didn't stop when it got hard. They kept on going.
Mm-hmm.
This can't not work, right? Like I tell myself, it can't not work if you do it. Some people it works in a month. Some it takes 4, maybe it takes 5. But I mean this, Trevor. We have utilizing this strategy. We have seen handfuls of students go from selling 1 house a month to selling 8, 12, 10, from ones that are selling 3 or 4 in a year to I've got so many situations like that. And it always is the same. When we look at what they've done, they consistently created their videos, started soon, right? They ran ads behind them. And the nice thing about when you run ads correctly, it's like people will think they can just post on their business page or their Facebook page. That's not enough, because Facebook is not letting anyone see you. Yep. But when you properly just run ads, you are being exposed to hundreds of thousands of people in your community. Everyone is seeing you multiple times. And then you can create an ad, let's say, that has to do with selling. And anyone that watches that video or sees that ad, you can then retarget to them, showing them another ad that has to do with selling, right? Then you can send them another ad. So you know that these people that continue to see you are interested in selling, right? If you run a buyer ad, you continue to retarget more buyer ads to them. And that's why it's so powerful. And you continue to be seen as the leader, because you continue to be seen in their feed. Another thing that happens when you do this is your referrals start to just completely skyrocket, because your sphere of influence is seeing you and they're reminded, right? And it's just and you're doing something that no one else is. People are so afraid of doing video, and they're afraid of running these ads and doing it this way. So when people start seeing you over and over, they're like, oh my gosh, you got to use my friend Krista. I see her all over Facebook. She's everywhere. Her marketing is amazing, right? That's the idea.
Yep. So two questions on the Facebook side. So I know people will be thinking this, so we'll get the answer for them. Is when they're running those ads, is there a certain set budget you suggest that they start with?
Yeah. So for example, on our CMA requests, which we don't call them that, right? Mm-hmm. She was doing $20 a day for each city. $20 a day for each city. Okay. But we have people doing $3 a day, and they're seeing great results too. Mm-hmm. You can't handle the amount of leads you're going to get doing $20 a day per city. You really can't. But if you just have one city you're doing, try $10 a day, right? That's $300 a month. But here's why our ads perform better than everyone else, Trevor. It's because we've taught them the process of getting out in front of their community, breaking down barriers, positioning themselves as the expert, getting people to know them, and then saying, hey, would you like this? Mm-hmm. And what happens is from month 1 to month 4, let's say, when people wouldn't answer the phone, nobody would call back. By month 4, people are answering the phone. People are calling back because they know who you are. Yeah. People are more likely to request something, to fill something out that you want them to give them, because they know who you are. So the idea is you become this little mini celebrity in your area, because they see you all over the place. And I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. Oh my God, you're Krista. Oh, I see you all over the place. And I'll be an hour away and have people come up to me and they think that they know me. And I'm like, how you doing? And I'm hugging them. It's just because they see my face, and yep. Now TV is now Facebook and YouTube. That's TV. There is more content uploaded in 30 days. Listen to this. More content uploaded, video content in 30 days than the past 30 years from all major networks. NBC, ABC. This is a true stat, right? And the conversion rates, the leads that you get that are more qualified, all from the use of video, it's staggering different. So different. So if you haven't learned anything at all today, I would just say one thing, if you can just do, is start using video.
Yeah. I love it. So we'll wrap a couple things here. And there's one thing that popped up to me. So you mentioned you guys are delivering CMAs, and that's something that as I've been seeing in your Facebook group and just the success your students are having, one thing that a lot of them are consistently doing is CMAs. And I'll talk to people that are your students then that aren't. And they go, the ones that aren't go, well, I tried the whole home value thing and it didn't work. And so I said, well, what'd you do? And they said, well, I sent them an email. I might've gave them a call. You guys do something very different. And you actually posted through, it was one of your clients actually posted through, hey, I was even sick today and I managed to deliver 10 of these or 20 of these or whatever. And they showed a physical picture. So what do your students do with CMAs, and why is it working so well for you guys?
So basically, remember, you're always on a job interview, right? So somebody fills out a request for a home analysis. And again, don't just call it, what's my home worth? You want to get more creative. So then you literally, you create this beautiful package for them, and we put it in a unibind, and it has a handwritten note on the front of it. And then inside it has the comparables. It has a sample of our different programs that we offer in my company, as well as marketing flyers. Like we show marketing flyers and brochures. If we have any, which we do, if we have any properties we've sold in the area that they're in, we put examples of those just sold cards in there, and we seal that up, and we stick it in a bag. In fact, here's the bag right here. In fact, I don't, but this is an example of the bag, Homes by Krista. We put it inside here. Some of my students put it in a box, they put a bow on it. And like, I want these to be all over town. So we use these, and they hand deliver the market analysis and put it on the front porch. They knock on the door, and if somebody answers, great. And they just say, hey, it's Krista. You requested a market analysis, and I just wanted to give it to you. And, no strings attached. Have a great day. Let me know what you need, or you just drop it off. Like, I never used to knock on the door. I would run and drop it off and run as fast as I could because I didn't have the time. But I tell my students, knock on the door, try to talk to somebody. And they're happy to see you because you're giving them something. And sometimes they'll be like, I didn't ask for that. I'm like, no problem. Now the good thing is you get to know what your house is worth. If you ever need anything, let me know, call me. And it's like, it's not salesy and cheesy, and you hand deliver. I mean, I've gone to people's houses, and this is no joke at all. We've actually, so when we sell a house, we also send 1 year anniversary, what's your home worth, to their door, okay? And we've sent from houses that we sold where we didn't represent the buyer, we represented the seller, but now the buyer can be a seller. We've been doing this for them, and we have seen 3-4 years later, they have the sample of a CMA that we dropped off 3 and 4 years prior.
That's cool.
I've been doing that for years, and they always tell me, no one else does that. You're the only one.
And that's true. That's what we've been talking about the whole time, is do things that other people aren't doing. That helps you stand out. And I'm in the back end of your account. So putting this together for people, how do you then use the CMA for online? So I'm not going to share my screen because it shows real leads, but I'll just kind of talk.
Can you see all of them?
Yeah, there's a ton of them in there.
I told you.
There's a ton of them in there. So just from today, literally 4 minutes ago. So while we've been on the podcast, 2 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 11 hours ago, 20 hours ago, and a bunch of them. And then I look at the next day, and there's a bunch of Discovery Bay ones, just like what you talked about. So if I look at 3 days ago, and once again, I'm not going to share the screen, y'all, because it shows real addresses, real leads. I don't want to show Krista's real leads, but we've got 3 days ago, there's 10, 15 leads a day through your Brentwood and Discovery Bay home value pages. So on the Caret side with these, they had set up these home value pages inside of our landing pages, and it shows the lead source. So it shows the lead source. Almost all of them are Facebook. There's a couple Instagrams. Are you guys getting any good return out of Instagram, or is it still?
Yeah, we are, but we just do so much more on Facebook. We're heavily focusing on Instagram now as well. And we're going to start doing a heavy emphasis on YouTube and Google. Google is, I am super excited about Google, and that's what I love your program.
I'm telling you.
Centric on Google, because I know how powerful it is,
I've been trying to tell people for years, and now finally, okay, agents, a lot of it driven by you after we've been chatting. It's so cool seeing agents finally latch onto this, because they were so focused on Facebook for so long, which is amazing. Keep doing that, but they need to work in tandem. So
the thing about momentum, right? It's like when you're doing it on Facebook and you're doing YouTube and you're doing all these other ones. Now, when I say that, don't freak out because you're not doing any of them. It's better to do one and do it really well than try to do all of them crappy, right?
Yep.
But it's like when you start doing them and you realize how powerful they are and you start to add, it's like the momentum just builds so much more. And so if you're sitting there and I'll tell you, some people are probably listening to this going, what the hell is a funnel? What's a landing page? Oh my God, I'm so stressed out. Don't do that, because you've got to start somewhere, and there is going to be more shifts in technology in the next 6 years. Is it 2019? I think it's the next 6 years. It's either 6 years or 3 years. The more, let's just say 6, okay? More change in the next 6 years, it is 6 years, than we've seen in the last 100 years in technology. More change in the next 6 than we've seen in the last 100. So you've got to start. It isn't a matter anymore of, oh, I want to keep doing things the way I have. I should think about utilizing the internet. I should think about utilizing Facebook and Google and video. I should think about it one day. No, you're going to be left in the dust. And if you want to make yourself recession proof, Zillow proof, discount broker proof, open door policy proof, all these other, people that are coming in here trying to take our business, then you need to get on the train right now. Show your value add, show what makes you special and different, show why they should hire you over all these other discount companies, and get in there and kick some butt.
I love it. I love it. Couldn't have said it better. So I want to wrap this up. You dropped so much amazing stuff for all these agents and investors. We just had our Caret Camp event, and probably a third of them were investors and agents. And that's what I really suggest. That's my philosophy, is the market is becoming more efficient. It's going to become more efficient over the next decade for sure. But you're going to see more and more agents have to work with investors. Investors have to work with agents. You're going to see more people going and buying direct. But I don't want any agents to get scared, because I don't see any history in the next, or any future in the next 10 to 20 years where the majority of houses are not sold through agents. I just see the majority of houses being sold.
And not to mention with like open door policy, do you know they charge a 10% management fee? They charge someone just showed me a contract today, and it was 10% management fee. So while they're telling you they're only charging you 1% commission, they're charging you 10% management fee, and they make you pay for all these repairs. And if you don't do the repairs, they like just take it off of this is what I understand. Don't quote me on this, I'm gonna get sued, but it's pretty crazy. And so I'm like, I need to figure out what that is, because I want to educate people.
Yeah, and that's content right there, right? Because
totally.
What we're seeing a lot of agents are saying is, in some markets, the sellers are saying, well, I want to see what Open Door does or OfferPad does. So that's a piece of content. It's OfferPad reviews, Brentwood, California, or why work with OfferPad, blah, or whatever it is, right? I mean, if they're in your market, you should do a piece of content or a whole series of content.
Absolutely.
And you go from there.
We just had a meeting about training today, and we were talking about that. And they're like, Krista, we need you to give us a script. I'm like, get me a contract and I'll do a script, but I need to see a contract.
I love it. So Krista, where can people find out about you? Like I said, we're always pumped to work with your students. They come more prepared than others. Where can they find out about you, your program, things like that?
I appreciate it. You can go to KristaMashore.com or KristaMashore.com/help. And you can get on the call with one of our business development coaches. And we'd love to help you. We really do care about what we're doing. This isn't just a job to me. I mean, we are passionate about changing agents' lives, giving them more time and more financial freedom. And we know we can do it if you put in the work. It's a lot of work. It takes time. But if you're willing to put in the work and to kind of change your philosophy on the way you've been doing things, we teach really 21st century digital marketing strategies. And we see people really excel. And we love working with you, because, it's like you go hand in hand with exactly what we teach. Sometimes when I hear, I'm like, oh, we talk the exact same language.
I love it. And to recap this, guys, because that's one of the main questions agents ask us, is, well, cool, how does Caret fit in? So the way that Krista and her students are using it is, of course, Caret is their website. It loads insanely fast. It's going to perform great. We have SEO tools, and it makes it easier to rank well in Google. But then we have our location page builder, which builds those niche locations. Then we have our video post feature, which takes those videos that Krista talked about. You put them up in YouTube, then you just paste that YouTube URL in there, and it makes a written article for you. And we have a bunch of other features and training that really help you to control that conversation online in Google. So we appreciate you big time, Krista. Have an amazing, amazing rest of the week. Everyone go check out Krista at her website. Go engage with her if that's something you really like what you're hearing. But reverse back to what she talked about. Take that action list and start creating that content this week. Krista, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I love it, Trevor. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.